British parents up and down the country are pulling their kids out of woke schools as left-wing teachers continue to spread their illiberal, regressive ideology. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the channel that challenges the mainstream media and the political establishment, from the left-wing nutters to the globalist elite. We have a story for you guys in this video. We're going to have a number of updates throughout the day as well. We're going to talk about what's going on with Rishi Sunak and ULEZ because he's clearly surrendering. But in this video, we're going to focus on the education system in this country because as we've noticed on this channel, we talk about woke schools, woke teachers, and the word has been overused. I don't really like the word woke anymore. But these people are hard leftists who are spreading their, as I said, illiberal, regressive ideologies. This is about Genesis preschool, and this is near Hull. And one of the problems with this is that parents are waking up to what's actually happening in our schools. Until now, before the rise of new media and before social media actually exposing our institutions left, right and centre, a lot of parents didn't know exactly what was going on in the schools because they were going against their own guidelines. They were not informing the parents of what they were teaching their kids. This one is absolutely disgusting, by the way. This is about Will and Maria Taylor, who decided to remove their 4-year-old daughter from Genesis. And this is not even like a secondary school. This is preschool. This is early days education. This is quite important. This is the foundational years for kids. But do you know what they were doing? Well, in the name of being progressive and creating tolerance and open-mindedness, they were actually brainwashing kids, including the daughter. This is what they were teaching them. So there's this book that's been made by the author, by the way, has won the Waterstone Children's Book Prize, and it's about Granddad's Pride. Oh dear. So get ready for this. It's gonna have a lot of rainbows and unicorns anyway. But that's not really the problem, because if they were just simply, don't do it to 4-year-olds, but as kids grow up, mention that, we live in a liberal society, everyone could be whatever they want, fine. There's one thing about making sure you don't spread hate, but this is not what they're doing. They're actually brainwashing kids. So parts of this book, there's literally, look at the this image, this very, very artistic painting of, I believe the one on the left with the bondage, that's the granddad, and granddad's going to Pride, and it says equality and respect, and they are, well, kissing, right? A 4-year-old is going to be looking at this, and they always promote this in the name of love. It says, all we need is love. We're just talking about love. Right. But do you really have to show the granddad in bondage and kissing someone? It doesn't really matter if it's a man or a woman. It's just not appropriate. That's the issue. Forget about the actual ideology. It's just not appropriate. So the kid apparently in this story asks the granddad, what's Pride? Pride is like a giant party where we celebrate the wonderful diversity of our communities. Diversity of community. I don't think that was the point of Pride. The whole point of Pride initially was the liberation of the gay movement, not diversity. Like, nothing to do with diversity. It was technically supposed to be about individual liberty, liberation of your own self-determination. That was the point. And then obviously the gay movement, but diversity. That's why they're adding more colors to the rainbow flag. And you can see on the right hand side, top right, you got the gender lobby flag and everything else. So the wording of it is nice. They say, oh, we're just spreading equality and niceness. But not the pictures. The pictures are showing something else. Again, you can see the granddad in bondage holding hands with someone else who's wearing a skirt. And, oh yes, he's diverse because he's non-white. Well done, I'm proud of you. So, and by the way, we're talking about a time when we just had the Black Pride in London. This one, oh yeah, this one is very subtle. It says out and proud, but the person holding that sign, you can see underneath the breasts, there was a surgery. They call it top surgery, where they remove essentially the female breasts. So they're showing these pictures to kids, the 4-year-olds, not even 15-year-olds, 14-year-olds, no, 4-year-olds. So I do not blame the Taylor family for removing their kids from that school. When the couple approached Genesis in Hull, with their concerns over very sexualized images, they were shocked when the school refused to apologize for stocking the book. The book, which has a 4+ reading age, wow, tells a story about Millie spending the summer in Granddad's cottage by the sea. When Millie is playing in the attic one day, she finds Granddad's pride flag apparently, and the Granddad explains to Millie what pride is, and then it goes from there and it gets a little bit disgusting. Now, the Book Trust, which promotes children reading, has actually warned parents about this book, saying the illustrations in Granddad's Pride include realistic depictions of what a Pride March might look like, including a person dressed in adult leather wear and some images which are culturally sensitive. Parents and carers should read the book before sharing. So even the promoter of the book, of the publishers, even they, at least they give out a bit of a warning. So adults, read it first and then show it to kids if you want to, if you think it's appropriate. It should be the job of parents. So the teachers, during the day, schools, act as the interim parents and guardians throughout those few hours. But clearly, they didn't take the responsibility. They didn't even inform the parents of what they were doing. This should be absolutely illegal. This should be criminal. This is not what you do to someone else's child. But we got Will, who said, we identified 2 images of men who are partially, essentially naked in leather bondage gear. And one has a leather codpiece molded tightly around his crotch. Oh my God, this is just so embarrassing. This is what we're dealing with now, ladies and gentlemen. By the way, let's not forget, it gets worse because, Will said he also has a studded dog collar around his neck and knee-high boots. Both have various leather straps around their bodies and studs and spikes. Obviously, the main and most immediate concern is that children have been exposed to at least 2 age-appropriate, very erotic images of a man in what can only be reasonably described as some sort of fetish BDSM gear, right? And he says that when we went to the nursery to raise concerns about the book, to be honest, we expected staff to instantly apologize and that would be the end of the matter. But the safeguarding leader began to defend the images. They argued that the children would not understand or perceive these erotic images. Staff claimed that the image was just portraying a dress-up and would not be perceived. Hang on. This is exactly what they do. This is actually quite genius. The perfect example of what we're dealing with now, ladies and gentlemen. They are spreading their ideology, brainwashing scheme that they have, scam. But when you catch them out, they say, well, kids are not going to know what that is. So if that's the case, 1, why does it have to be in the book? And that book is directly targeting children. 2, the whole thing is nonsensical because we have basic biological science proving and psychological science proving that even toddlers can store memory and things that will affect them for the future, even if they don't technically know what it is. Even if technically they don't remember it, it will create a traumatic environment in their brain. Even toddlers, at times they say even babies who are still not actually being born, that last obviously a few days and weeks, they can hear and understand music and sound. So you're telling me, a 4-year-old, oh, but they don't know exactly what that picture is. It's going to be in their brain as they grow up, and that's exactly what the intent is, isn't it? Be honest with people. But no, they're still getting away with that. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I'm Mahyar Tousi, and we are the media.